It is a beautiful Wednesday morning, July 5th, 2023. It is the newspaper review on your urban lifestyle station, High Impact 102.1 FM. And yes, you are listening to Esther Kalu this morning, but I'm not doing it by myself. I've got Afyong with me. Good morning, Afyong.
Yes, good morning, Esther. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you doing today?
I am doing great.
So you've been here before me anyways. I know that you've been having fun and you've been keeping everyone, posted, letting them know what's happening. But let's get into the papers very quickly. For those joining us for the very first time, we review the papers at this moment between 7:05 a.m. to 7:50. We look at the headlines from the Punch newspaper, the Guardian, the Vanguard, and the Daily Trust newspapers. And thankfully, we open up the phone lines for you to interact with us. The phone numbers to call 0700-1021-1021. Those are the numbers to call. That is the number to call, I beg your pardon. And yes, of course, you can reach us on WhatsApp 0907-224-5018. But I'd like to ask Afi, before we take a break, is there a particular story on your mind recently that has been on the papers for some time? And have you been following the JAMB story?
Talking about the JAMB story, I have kind of, but not really into it.
Okay.
But for me, they should consider the fact that it's a child, and the child was actually lecturing Nigerians or lecturing JAMB themselves on how things should go and how things should be. She said, Abby, I have been current first. I've been very good. I'm a very brilliant student right from when I was a child. So there's no point to me. So I think that's what makes it for me, because I feel this is a child trying to lecture the adult that's supposed to know better.
Well, so because it is a delicate matter, and
Very.
a lot of people feel that, we should not overflog it. Being objective about it is something that I stand for all the time. And we as journalists, we don't want to judge a book by its cover, and we don't want to conclude. We're not the judge, we're not the jury, we're just journalists. I'm trying to find where I read an investigative journalism article yesterday. Yes, that is from the FIJ. Now, there was a fact check yesterday, right? And then they brought out some details. And typically, I had to ask people to follow these details, follow this even when they were done with their investigations, they still asked that. A lot of people still try to find out for themselves. So, listening to Mesoma's video and comparing it with what the JAMB PRO has said, it seems that Mesoma is not aware of the app, the JAMB Phone app that you use to check results and things like that. It's either she's not aware of that app, or she doesn't know the updates that have happened on the JAMB portal. So it's one of those two things, because the results she was displaying online is obviously not the same results that those that have attempted JAMB recently are holding up. So the conversation is delicate, but then JAMB has already given her that conclusion that for 3 years she has been banned from attempting UTME. But there are many more headlines on the papers this morning.
Many more
headlines. It's 10 minutes past 7. We'll take a break now, and when we come back, we'll get into the conversation of today. Do well to let us know your top story this morning.
Fun just got real. Looking for where you can have all the fun as promised for you and the kids? And yes, daddy included. High Impact Planet Amusement Park and Resort is just the place. Over 60 rides and games with all the food you can imagine. From mega-sized pizzas to super chili ice creams. And even a 5D cinema. Yes, a 5D cinema. The biggest amusement park is in West Africa, and guess what? It's here in the city! Come and have all the fun you can at High Impact Planet Amusement Park and Resort, located on kilometer 12, Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, Ibafo via Lagos. Call us on 0814-229-9509. High Impact Planet Amusement Park and Resort, fun just got real.
Welcome back to the newspaper review on your urban lifestyle station. If you're just joining us, we started at 7:05 a.m. and yes, Afi is still here with me.
Yes, I'm here.
Very true. All right, let's move to the Punch newspaper this morning very quickly. I already told us that you can let us know your top story 0700-1021-1021. I'll take it slowly. 0700-1021-1021. That's the number to call. 0907-224-5018. That's where you can leave us a WhatsApp message and do well to let us know your top story. You can also leave a comment on YouTube as we're streaming live, on Twitter as well at High Impact 1021 FM, on Twitter at High Impact 102.1 FM, on YouTube. Straight into the papers this morning, we have principal officers, APC protest selection, National Assembly members back Akpabio and Abbas. This is on page 2 on the Punch newspaper this morning. The riders start with selecting Bamidele Ndume Umahi as National Assembly leaders. A rumor, Adamu declares. Wow, you mean all of that was a rumor? Senators and reps support Senate President. Speaker say NWC aware of selection. Still talking politics there. That's the second rider to that particular story. Away from that, you would see, if you're looking at the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning, you'd see a flooded road and a bus and a bike trying to find their way on these roads. And the description of that picture is somewhere in Ikorodu, Lagos on Tuesday, where the roads are flooded, and by the side you see someone trying to pull out a tricycle out of that flood. This is proof that it's the rainy season, and flooded roads like this are bound to appear because of the rainy season.
And you actually start seeing flying cars everywhere. Flying cars, like, just splashing the water. And that's why one of the reasons I don't even like rainy season. I love the rainy season, quite cool and everything. But hey, that is when you see flying cars in Lagos, especially. It's so annoying, you know.
Initially, when you said flying cars, I thought they were cars that now had wings or something. Okay, so it's simply cars that are speeding. I'm and telling you, they just want to splash.
Oh, they are not. God. You don't even know where they're going to. They're just running.
Yeah, but on this road I'm looking at right now,
oh no,
you can't fly.
You can't fly.
No, you cannot.
You
cannot fly here. It's not possible. But beneath that, we have customs seize 3 billion naira smuggled rice. Arrest 344 smugglers. Wow. Okay, because I know that we just recently have a new customs head, and now it shows that work has started. All right. Beside that, we have slain UI Don. This is one pretty sad news. Slain UI Don buried amid tears. Cleric condemns killers. Yeah.
So sad.
That's it. It's just a sad one there. But beside that, we have the JAMB story. Results falsification. JAMB sanctions more candidates, ends Mesomas probe. So JAMB has probably discovered that there are more people who are using this JAMB Fund fake results maker. So that's the app, JAMB Fund fake JAMB results maker. I mean, if you're not somebody who is tech savvy, or who knows that there's a fake and in fact it's written on it, fake JAMB results maker, so you clearly know that if you're getting a result from this app, it is not real. It's misleading and things like that. But the only issue with this is if someone printed it for you without your consent and you're not aware of what the original looks like, you might just collect it and think it's the original. But anyways,
this is just, I don't even know where to go about this this JAMB thing. I think maybe because the way we've known JAMB over the years, and this app comes about, like, okay, let's do this, but that is pretty sad for our educational system, because it's just exposing how porous it is at this point in time.
Is it a JAMB problem? Because
it is, not really a JAMB problem, like the educational system. That's overall 360. I feel our educational system has not been so good Right from time we talk about JAM, and it's not even getting better each time. Look at the cutoff mark, right? I don't know. Last week we
That's
took out
even
the-
a delicate
it's
matter.
actually a different thing. So I mean,
Yeah. The cutoff mark. Okay, the cutoff mark. While Sarah and I were having this conversation on High Impact TV,
Yeah.
we had different sides to it. She felt like, okay, maybe this cutoff mark is showing that students are not ready to put in so much work into scoring higher scores. And on the second side, on the other side, you know, maybe JAMB is just trying to accommodate more students and encourage them to, you know, attempt UTME. On my end, I reminded her that most of these top scorers in WAEC and JAMB, when they get into the university, we don't really hear much about them anymore. Sometimes the best graduating student in your class is not the top
Yeah,
JAM
it's-
scorer
yeah, exactly,
at the
not.
end of the day. So
Mostly.
maybe that is not a factor to determine whether a student is brilliant or not. But away from that report, above the nameplates, we have Tribunal, Tinubu tenders Chicago Varsity admission letter and others. That is on page 7. In case we don't know, after the presidential poll in February, the contest for the results is still in court, and that is why you have Tribunal there. Tinubu tenders Chicago Varsity admission letter and others, and this case is still in court. Even still talking about that, BVAS, APC kicks as opposition faults INEC 98% success claim. Still talking about the same tribunal, BVAS. APC kicks as opposition faults INEC 98% success claim. Lastly, on the front page of the Punch newspaper, investors suffer 671 billion naira one-day loss as equities tumble. That is a huge sum, but that's as much as we can take on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Do well to let us know your top story this morning. 0700 1021 1021.
All right. Looking at the Daily Trust newspaper, the big headline is saying, cracking APC as Adamu rejects Bamidele in Dume, other principal officers. And also there's a writer, Senate President, Speaker have our backing, progressive governors. Senate President, Speaker have our backing, progressive governors. Our minority leaders emerged. The big headline again is saying, crack in APC as Adamu rejects Bamidele Ndume, other principal officers. And also looking at the down path of the Daily Trust newspaper, that's the front page. Again, IPOP enforces sit-at-home order in Ebonyi State. That sues son for stealing stepmom's money. Smeden Jay's Bank to disburse 1.2 billion naira matching fund for MSMES. Era of single party domination over INEC. Era of single party domination over INEC. You can read that on page 15 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Let's also go over to the topmost corner of the Daily Trust newspaper. No presidential directive to reopen additional borders. That's custom speaking. No presidential directive to reopen additional borders. That's custom speaking. Presidential Tribunal. Tinubu tenders U.S. varsity visa document. Still saying the same thing with what Punch is saying too. Court affirms Gojay's dismissal from APC. Court affirms Gojay's dismissal from APC. Esther, look at this. The big headline. Cracking APC as Adamu rejects Bamidele in Dume, other principal officer. Do you think that is something that will just simmer down with the APC? Is there a crack in APC? That's the question.
I think that's simply how Daily Trust wants to put it this morning. But you know how politics always comes with drama, and you'll be shocked that by the end of today the news has maybe changed or something. But I'm looking at the headline, and it's basically talking about the National Working Committee of the APC distancing itself from the National Assembly's majority leadership positions announced by Senate President Godswill Akpabio and House of Representatives Speaker Tajuddin Abbas. So if you just take the headline the way Daily Trust gives us, man, you'd maybe make a lot of, what's the word now, meanings out of it. So sometimes we probably just need to get inside the paper. So but Akpabio said the announcement was in line with agreements by the caucuses of the majority and minority parties.
Well, the national chairman of All Progressive Congress, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, seems not to be, very happy with that over the new leadership of the National Assembly announced by Senator President Godswill Akpabio and the Speaker of the House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas. I think Adamu should just really cool off a little with the hanger, though. If you look at the Punch newspaper deeply and read the story, you see that, yes, there is no agreement between some of these people over the new leadership and all of that. Okay. All right. Yes, let's look at this again. IPOB enforces sit at home order in Ebonyi. This is coming like almost every time. Sit at home. At this point where we know how things are in Nigeria, it's a challenging moment for everyone. And in Ebonyi, they're saying sit at home. I don't understand. Esther, what do you make of this story?
Well, I think it's delicate, first of all. And,
it is delicate.
Yes, so it is, first of all, an internal matter, and it's something that most of the time it's best to avoid until within Ebonyi State and within the Southeast region, they themselves can conclude on what is most relevant or what is best for the people.
Okay, that's all for On the Daily Trust newspaper.
0700-1021-1021. That's the number to call. We move now to the Vanguard newspaper. On the top of the Vanguard newspaper this morning, we have inflation, prices of beef, yam, up to 24.9%. I think I'm particularly interested in this particular headline. Inflation, prices of beef, prices of yam, up by 24.9% and 22.8%. This is according to the NBS. The Bureau of Statistics have given us that information. And if you're listening to me this morning, if you're listening to us on High Impact 102.1 FM and you are in Nigeria and you've gone to the market anytime, even if it's not recent, you've gone to the market and you've been able to get maybe beef or yam, what is the cost? What is the difference? Have you noticed anything different in the amount of these things? I think the last time I bought yam, it was quite high, but this 24.9%, how do you calculate it into every tuber of yam you buy? Maybe that's a conversation that we should bring up later. But beneath that story, we have alleged 1 billion naira fraud. Court remands ex-governor Ganduje's commissioner. That's on page 8 on the Vanguard newspaper. And the story about the inflation is on page 19 on the Vanguard newspaper. Do well to read up. UTME controversy. We're probing Mesoma's results. JAMB, Anambra government. So on the Punch newspaper, there was an update that the probe has been completed, but on the Vanguard newspaper, we now have JAMB and Anambra government stating this. So if one update is before the other, we'll get to know before the end of today. INEC calls one witness, closes defense in Obi's case against Tinubu's election. INEC calls one witness, closes defense in Obi's case against Tinubu's election. Beside that, you also have Presidential Tribunal. Tinubu tenders 17 exhibits to defend his election victory. This seemed to be
very interesting. Very.
This seemed to be a long journey, and
it will be a long journey. It's going to be back and forth.
A lot of back and forth. A lot of back and forth. But 10th National Assembly, APC disowns principal officers named by Akpabio and Abbas. This is on page 5 5, and quite a number of riders there. Not sure I can take all of that. But APC disowns principal officers named by Akpabio and Abbas. If you listened earlier, you hear Afi ask, the question. But APC disowns principal officers named by Akpabio and Abbas, and more details on page 5.
You see,
and
sorry to part in, Esther. You see the way the papers are carrying this story. There is no smoke without fire right now, because at this point, Akpabio, the Senate president, how he came in and was elected and all of that by the House, that's the Senate members. But looking at the situation where the national chairman is not happy, Senator Abdullahi Ganduje, is it Ganduje? Yeah, he's not happy over this. He was actually Punch used it as he said he was in anger. So, and other papers are carrying this story. That there's a crack. I asked the question earlier. I said, is there a crack in APC at this point over leadership, over principal officers being picked? Certainly, as the story unfolds, we will know in the course of time.
Okay, let me take some of the riders that come with this headline. The first one says, as governors pledge loyalty to party leadership. So the caucuses is something else that seem to be disagreeing. Akpabio announces Bamidele Senate leader, Umahia deputy, Ndume chief whip, Ashiru deputy whip, right? Then the next rider says Ninji Dixon Alero Tambowal dropped. Right? Akpabio asked lawmakers to focus on what brought them to Senate and support Tinubu in stabilizing Nigeria, which seemed to be what is the priority, right? Yes, and Akpabio is asking them to do that and focus on what brought them to the Senate, which is, and then to support the president in stabilizing Nigeria, right? Because all this back and forth means that there are decisions that cannot be taken until there is unity between them. Another writer said, I never knew why they were singing Nobody Called Me, Nobody Informed Me, not even an SMS, says Senator Musa. Another writer says, we'll constitute special standing committees before end of July. That's from the Senate leader. And Abbas names Inobere, majority leader, Chinda, minority leader, as PDP, Labour Party, NNPP share other minority positions. But away from that, we have APC governors and NWC meet. You can see a picture of some governors right there. And
I just think the chairman of All Progressive Congress, Senator Abdullahi Abdamu, and the rest of them should just, come together and make this country work. That's the major thing they should be thinking about.
Well, it's beyond them. It's a joint effort. It's not a political party work now. It is even, you can see other parties mentioned right here to even to be able to make let me move on from that story. We've spent time on that. Alleged anti-party activities caught OK's ex-governor Goje's expulsion from APC. Another drama in APC. 2023 polls. INEC engages 427 lawyers to prosecute 215 electoral offenders. And also, lastly, on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper, we have Obey sit at home, face closure. Enugu government tells traders and businesses. I'll take Mr. and Mrs. before we move very quickly. Our time is fast spent. I know prices of commodities. This is Mr. talking. I know prices of commodities have skyrocketed, but why don't you look for places where prices are reasonable? Mrs. says, which means meals in this house will become reasonable too. Okay. I don't really want to go into asking people what adjustment have you been making in terms of trying to survive the way things are going up. But it's 7:30. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll get into deeper conversations on the newspaper review this morning. To stay with us.
Looking for something away from the regular? Television shows that will keep you glued to your screen? Then High Impact TV is your best choice. We give you the best television shows, educative and entertaining programs. Keep a date with our breakfast show, Tea or Coffee. Weekdays 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Newspaper review. Weekdays 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Midday special. Weekdays from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. We also keep you informed with news around the globe every day 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Also, we have exciting shows like Babbles, Fashionista, SLR, Vibes, Young Boss, and much more for everyone only on High Impact Television. Catch up with us on Star Times Channel 145, High Impact TV, securing the future.
Drums, please. 'Cause it's summertime.
Come feel the High Impact Summer Experience. Hello, I'm talking about the largest indoor and outdoor games and ride facilities in Nigeria, High Impact Planet Amusement Park. Come on down with your family, friendship groups, or bring yourself. There's something for everyone. Introducing our Super Summer promo packages for individuals and groups. These promo packages grant access to fun games like animatronics, mini playgrounds, bumper cars, skating rink, and haunted arena. There's more. Pre-booked group packages get one extra ticket free, and vouchers to play other games and rides can be purchased within the park. Date 22nd July to 3rd September 2023. Fridays to Sundays only. For more information, visit our website at www.highimpactplanet.com or call us on 081-422-99509. High Impact Planet Road, Kilometer 12, Lagos Ibadan Expressway, opposite Mountain Top University, Ibafo, Lagos State. Terms and conditions apply. High Impact Planet Amusement Park and Resorts, the destination of choice.
Ade, where are you cruising this weekend?
Omo, I'm lounging on High Impact Cruise.
What's that?
Oh, you haven't heard about Eugene One, a luxurious ultra-modern 4-story yacht. Omo, me and Dele chop life, oh. Fabulous music, then live band play, 3-course meal and different exotic drinks on top Lagos water for 4 hours.
So how far now? What's the level?
You too can come on a cruise and have an unbeatable experience on the waters of Lagos. Dance, drinks, and 3-course meals on Eugene One. Call 0705-095-5987 or 0806-483-1491. Now for bookings.
Guy, I'm coming with you.
Ha, no. I already arranged with Pat now.
You mean my part?
High Impact Cruise. Dream, discover, explore.
Drums, please. 'Cause it's summertime.
Come feel the High Impact Summer Experience. Hello, I'm talking about the largest indoor and outdoor games and ride facilities in Nigeria, High Impact Planet Amusement Park. Come on down with your family, friendship groups, or bring yourself. There's something for everyone. Introducing our Super Summer promo packages for individuals and groups. These promo packages grant access to fun games like animatronics, mini playgrounds, bumper cars, skating rink, and haunted arena. There's more. Pre-booked group packages get one extra ticket free, and vouchers to play other games and rides can be purchased within the park. Date 22nd July to 3rd September 2023. Fridays to Sundays only. For more information, visit our website at www.highimpactplanet.com or call us on 081-422-99509. High Impact Planet Road, Kilometer 12, Lagos Ibadan Expressway, opposite Mountain Top University, Ibafo, Lagos State. Terms and conditions apply. High Impact Planet Amusement Park and Resorts, the destination of choice.
Yes, you're welcome back to the newspaper review on your number one radio station, Impact 102.1 FM. Yes, Esther is still here with me.
Yes, I am indeed, but our guest is already on the line with us this
Okay.
morning, the person of Sheson Okwade. He's a financial expert and a public affairs analyst. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on the newspaper review this morning.
Good morning, Esther, and good morning to
Afi is here with
other
me.
sister, pardon me.
Yes, Afi is here
Okay,
with
Happy,
me.
Good morning.
Yes, good
And
morning.
yes.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, Sheson,
Beautiful
I'd like to.
midweek.
Yes, indeed. It is midweek already. Thank you for even mentioning that. You know, we could keep going on and not realize that the week has gone by. I'd like to start with a major, before we get into politics, before we get into what is going on with the APC and all of that, the Vanguard newspaper is giving us updates this morning that there is inflation on the cost of beef and on the cost of yam, and I'm just trying to make sense of what those figures mean to us. You know, inflation prices of beef, yam up by 24.9%. Briefly, before we go into what is going on in the APC, let's talk about what this means when we go to the markets to buy beef and yam now.
Yeah, it's quite simple. When Just Little Fund is actually pursuing so much commodity, there's what we call inflation. So currently, you discover there is scarcity of funds here and there, and people are struggling. So some of the policies we have now, actually, it's increasing the lot of inflation, and the most impactful has to do with food inflation, because there has not been serious production when it comes to some of these food items in recent time because of level of insecurity. People are yet to have the confidence to go back to the farm to produce this. So don't mind us. Most of the time we bring in the issue of demand and supply to some of the things we are doing.
Okay.
And that is why, as we speak, there are few food commodities out there, and the little funds are actually chasing after it. So that's the reason for this inflation. And until we'll go more intentional in the aspect of production, we may not have it much better. And that's why we've been clamoring that government should look for ways in such a way that there will be food security, where we have good production of these food items, so that when you have a surplus, definitely the demand will be lower and you have surplusity. So everybody will be out there to push those commodities, and competition will force everyone to just make sure that those things go cheaper. But as it is, because of the hard policy that we have, monetary policy, inflation has risen to as high as 24%, even on the outside, but not to even talk of food security, of which we are clamoring up to 28 to 29%. So until we have stability, this might continue, and that's why we are looking at government, being intentional in fixing certain areas so that we can have relief across board.
Okay, I would like us to, get into politics, so that we are also talking about some of the headlines that are across all papers. This morning, the Daily Trust is that, just yesterday, during plenary, we had, Senate President Godswill Akpabio announce some principal officers. But the All Progressive Congress this morning, beyond this morning, they've come out to just announce that they are distancing themselves from the principal officers announced by Senate President Godswill Akpabio. And my co-host this morning, Afi, has asked me, is there
a crack in APC? Is there a crack?
I won't say there's a crack. From the little information I gather, it seems is the chairman that is not in tune with what is happening at the National Assembly. So the challenge we have therein is if he doesn't, Akpabio will not act without the directive of key major player. Don't forget the caucus in the House is backing Akpabio and Abbas. The governors are backing them up. And the dynamics that played out when Akpabio was to be, elected as Senate President.
Yes.
The same set of people who have the weight are still backing up this list of the principal officer. I'm not a prophet of doom, but what I see looming is if the national chairman is not working in line with the major stakeholder, because these guys that are determining certain things now will be the one to determine his fate as both as the chairman and the head of the National Working Committee. So if you are working against some of the things that has been agreed, then the exit of such a chairman is gradually looming. But I want to tell you that before Akpabio took that decision, the leader of the party, which is the president, would have been consulted, and they would have given his nod before such action is taken. Don't forget, it is the backing of the president that actually brought Akpabio to bear during that election at Abbas. So I don't think that they would do anything without carrying the leader of the party, which is the president. So the chairman, not moving in line with what they want, is only preparing possibly for exit. That's the usual thing. When you have new president comes in, most of what we have seen, see what happened to Shiomole, see what happened to Baba, the former governor of Osun State.
Mm.
So if you don't work in line with those stakeholders who have the might and the weight, then the next thing you see is the exit. I'm sure that in no distant time they will dissolve to have maybe a re-election at the council. So I doubt if he might have a re-election as the chairman of the party with what we are seeing playing out. But I can tell you that there is no crack in APC. Most of the time the chairman may not work in line with the leader, and that might look as a division. But wherever the majority tends towards, most especially the governors, they are very powerful. You see that's the line that everybody will toe, and they will move with it.
Well, I just even want to talk about their selection style. Isn't there a better way? Because I could see that the minority and the majority caucuses are, major stakeholders even in this process. Isn't there a way that, even in their selection, nobody is placed, the matters that have to do with the nation is not placed on hold? Because I'm looking at the riders too. I'm looking at what Akpabio said on the Vanguard newspaper and said they should focus on, why they want to be senators. They should support the president in stabilizing the country, because it seems like this back and forth is putting a pause on how much work can be carried out in the National Assembly as we speak.
Yeah, I can tell you that, you see, politics, that's why some people will refer to it that it's dirty, because there are surprises that comes out of it when it's being played out like that. So interest plays a major key player in this game. So when people's interests are not protected, you see them considering themselves as opposition in this part of the game.
Let me butt in. When you say interests, you mean party interests or party members? The party interest of
both individual interest, party interest, and let me say the citizen interest. Although that one is always the last on the resort.
Yeah, and I want to wonder why.
To the party interest, if you are able to galvanize these two together, then there might be an edge or a safe landing to have the interest of the citizen that you claim that you are leading. You see, you don't want a situation where you have someone that will be antagonistic to some of your ideas and policy. You want a situation that you balance the act in such a way that when you have something to take from the National Assembly, you have it on a sail through. And that's what the president has done by actually, putting his little support behind a candidate who he feels would definitely have an easy way for him. That's one. Two, when you now get to the inner caucus, majority leader should be able to have a say. And the caucus inside the National Assembly are giving their backing for this nomination, because you don't want a situation where you have opposition against the president. So the Senate president will just be standing aloof. So you must have people who have the strength, who have been there, who can control majority in your favor, and that's what politics is all about. So they have to protect their own interests, protect the party interests, which culminate into the interest of the citizen on the long run. So as we speak, he has announced it. I'm sure if they are not, when the Senate presidency election was going on, there are a lot of uproar here and there between him and Yoruba. But as we speak, that has died down. He has moved on. Once that has been announced, and majority, they don't need 100% of the senator. I think to thought, once the majority put their backing behind that appointment is valid, and they'll move on with it. We only see this within 1 or 2 weeks play out to see, and everybody will definitely be called to order. Those that are aggrieved might be compensated with chairmen of good committees. To see. That's why I said everybody is actually fighting for their interest, to galvanize the party interest and assist maybe to win the citizens. So if you are just keeping your mouth shut, you may not be favored all through. But now that you have considered in the area of yielding to the minority and majority leadership, those that are agitated might actually be looking for good position as chairman of a house committee on some of these things, and to make them a bit relevant in the game of things.
Okay. As much as I would like us to continue with the political conversations, there are more headlines on the papers.
Okay, let's look at the Guardian newspaper. The story up on the Guardian newspaper saying Tinubu Shatima opened defense today in Obi's LP's petition. Another story close by, imperative of separating AGF from Justice Minister. And also beside the story, Pandef, Oriwa, others score the Guardian height at 40. And yes, let's look at the big headline. Tinubu Adamu's Cold War worsen as Akpabio Abbas appoints principal officers.
I think we've already discussed that.
Well, I would like us to look at this Tinubu Shatima open defense today in OB-LP's petition. What is your reaction on that, sir?
Yeah, well, the case is with the tribunal. A lot of allegation has been raised against the victory of the president, and is being challenged in the court via the tribunal. At least to start with the tribunal to raise some of those things they found not right. So I want to believe that they'll put up their defense so that the judge or whosoever is leading the tribunal can have a say on whether what the petitioners has actually brought to bear is valid, which might lead to nullification, or you upheld the judgment and allow the current president. So it's something that is allowed. They themselves would have prepared themselves. The first thing that must first happen is the petitioner, petitioning the INEC and the president. Now we've seen INEC put up some defense. The president and Shetima are to defend some of those things that were raised against them and their candidature. And the lawyers will play their role there. I wish that they can ask for figures. Maybe we can get the finance people too. But that's why they are called learned people. Let them put their expertise in place to defend their client, who is the president and the vice president. But we'll wait and see. I'm sure by tomorrow we'll have new lead on the defense that they are putting up and the position of the judge in this matter.
Yes, we'll wait until tomorrow. All right, Esther.
Yeah, I would really love to let our guest go, but I just wanted to ask if he has something to say about the story of the JAM. Yes, if in 1 minute, because I read up what the Foundation for Investigative Journalism put up yesterday, and comparing it side by side with her video, and and also what the JAM PRO has said, a lot of statements concerning this particular student who has been accused of falsifying her results, and UTME controversy. So the Vanguard newspaper puts it this way. It says, we are probing Mesoma's results. This is from JAMB and Anambra government. And yes, I'd like to just get your opinion on that in 1 minute before we call it a wrap this morning.
Esther, nothing to me. I would say nothing too serious.
Okay.
You see, the technology we have these days. Not yesterday, I didn't know anything about that JAM phone.
Fake, yes. JAM phone fake results maker.
You see, there are a lot of apps there that they can put my words in my picture when I've not even said anything. A lot of apps are out there. You see, the lady may not have done that thing herself. But if you look at the position of JAM, it's valid in the sense that the notification of results she's actually, posting out there is really not what JAM is using. I think I know of these most institutions now, because of impersonification, what they have adjusted to, not only JAM, even professional exams. What they do now is that you submit your passport, and when they are giving you your result or certificate, they attach that to it, which will be difficult for you to manipulate. So that which she is actually using is not the right notification expected. So somebody may have carried that out for her. And when you look at that video, you can see that the lady herself does not have that weight of what she was passing out. She might be intelligent. Don't take that out. But you can see that people are actually putting words in her mouth for her to say. So JAMB has made their position and they have closed it. A lot of people who are doing some of this. Don't forget that it's not today. Remember Toronto certificate of some leaders. So these are things that have been. You hear of Oluwole certificate. People talk for it. But don't forget that this technology that we might actually be saying is not working. When you fortify the result, there is one on the database that nobody can easily fortify.
Yeah.
So when you take the hard copy there and they check the other one on the system and it's not correlated, it becomes a trouble for you. And even from what she said herself, when you put the barcode, a barcode now is something that is encrypted that you don't know what is behind it until when you check with it. That barcode that on what she's actually claiming is carrying another person's name. They actually wrote the exam in 2021 with 138 as the result. So I'm not blaming her. She might be innocent in this. But some funny people who are actors in this game might just want to rubbish our system, which I want to say that this institution are still intact. I heard the second saying that it's actually affecting our educational system. The system is still intact. We may not have it. We are looking for a way to improve the standard of living of some of our lecturers so that they can be happy to give their best in classes. But when it comes to exam process in Nigeria, give it to our institutions. They are actually putting up their best and matching up with the current trend, at least to make sure that we have the best and have the confidence and trust that is expected of their results.
Thank you, Sheson Kwade, for joining us on the newspaper review this morning. We really do appreciate your time.
Thank you very much, and I want to wish you the best of the remaining days in the week.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Such a good conversation.
It is like we just wanted to go on and on. And I was really enjoying his analysis and all of the reaction. But it's all good. Let's see what happens. And talking about the Tinubu's reaction to the suit against him and the help and all of that. Tomorrow, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I can't wait because I'm following up one after, step at a time to see what pans out next tomorrow on that issue.
Yes, indeed. It's 7:53 a.m. This is where we call it a wrap. If you have messages for us, you can leave your messages on our WhatsApp line 0907-224-5018. You can leave those messages even in the comments on YouTube, on Twitter. But till I see you next time, my name is Esther Kalu. Do stay safe.
My name is Afyong Eyeni. We'll see you next time. Do stay safe also. Bye-bye.